everyone, it's Jennifer, and today I thought I would do another Sims video. Last video I did, I talked about showing you guys how to franken-mesh or splice two different base game clothes together to create something new instead of having to create like a new mesh in Blender or whatever. So I figured I would show you guys how to do that today. Even though this is technically going to be like a series that I'm going to be doing or like a playlist, but I want to do on each video just in case you aren't aware of the other videos that I've done or will be doing or whatever. I'm going to just basically start from scratch. So just showing you guys everything, what programs you'll need, the functions on the mouse for it, this, that, and whatever. That's what I'll have to do, or that's what I want to do, just in case you don't want to watch the previous videos, you won't just be like kind of dumbfounded when I start talking about what you need to do. So let me go ahead and start recording my screen. Okay, so now that we're recording the screen anyways, the first thing that you will need in order to basically make any type of Sims clothes, or the program that I choose to use to make Sims clothes, you're going to need Sims 4 Studio, and this is what that looks like. You'll know you're in the right place for Sims 4 Studio if there's like this picture of a crow to the left. That's how I always know when I'm in the right place. And you'll just scroll down until you see where it says download. You'll click download, installer zip. You'll click one of those, or you can click one of the alternative download links. I usually decide to use the zip. I use the zip, and then with that, you need to make sure that you have some sort of unzipping software like WinRAR or WinZip or something like that. So if you're gonna, unzip it, and then you just run it as an administrator, or just honestly, you could just double click it and press open, and it will run. And then this is what you'll end up with. This is what the page, or the front page, or the home page, I'll say, the home page of Sims 4 Studio looks like once you download it, get it open. And you'll see here's my creator name. And you can put your own, whatever your creator name is. If you never made one, just make something up. Anyways, and then the next thing that you'll need is some sort of picture editing software or Photoshop type of software, something like that. I choose to use paint.net. And here's the download page for that. And then I choose to use GIMP. And then I use both of those for different things. So usually with the franken-meshing and things like that, I use paint.net. GIMP is good for a lot of things, but for this, paint.net is also a lot less complex than GIMP from just my own experience. So I'll basically just be showing you guys paint.net. And if we do need to use GIMP at all, I'll try to be very precise with the instructions there. So let's see here. This is what paint.net looks like once you get it open. And then of course, once we have the, clothes here, it'll actually look alive and it won't be black and white. And then this is GIMP once you have it open. Same kind of thing. Once we, put the clothes or whatever it is that we're doing on here, there will be some sort of picture on the screen there, and, we'll go from there. So, and the first thing that you need to do is go to Sims 4 Studio. Now, to give an example of what we're going to make, I can go to the Sims resource, and I'll go to my own profile. This dress right here, this is what we're going to go ahead and make today. Oh, there we go. So I will show y'all how to make this dress that I made. That'll be pretty easy. That way I'm not sitting up here trying to figure out what I'm going to franken-mesh together. So I'm going to show you how I franken-mesh this from a base game turtleneck and a base game ball gown or dress or whatever. I guess not a ball gown, it's a gown, whatever. Anyways, I'm going to show you guys how I did that. And that's what we're going to make. So first thing I want to do, open up Sims 4 Studio. And then you're going to go to now you're going to have to do 2 of these. Now you can open up 2 Sims 4 Studios pages, but just to kind of simplify everything, we're just going to do 1. And then we're going to I'll show you what to do next. So We're going to go right here to cast, create cast standalone. I'm going to click on it. I was making lipstick the other day, but what you're going to go to here, let's just start from here. Human, gender, we're doing female, age, adult, part type. The first one that you're going to do is going to be a clothing top. Game pack, sometimes that takes a little while to load. Base game. Content, game. And honestly, I think I typed in, I typed in turtleneck. So you can go ahead and type in turtleneck, or if you want to scroll all the way down and you want to use a different top for the, to make the dress long sleeve, perfectly fine. I'm choosing to use this turtleneck here. I'm gonna go ahead. It doesn't really matter what color I use. Just gonna use this first one. I'm gonna click it. Next. I'm gonna go ahead and save it under package files. It doesn't really matter because we're gonna save this under dresses anyway when it's all said and done. So for package files, as you can see, I have multiple long shirts here, and I'm just gonna put long shirt, and I'm gonna do long shirt 3, and then I'm gonna save. Now this is the important part of what we need to do with this shirt here. Now that we're in this program, I'm gonna go ahead and go over the mouse, how to use the mouse in this program again, so that if you're new to it and you've never used it before, you'll understand how to work the mouse. Now, the main mouse functions, or the two things that you need to use the mouse in this program, is gonna be the middle roly part and the right click side. The left click side does absolutely nothing. If you want to use this roly thing, the roly thing is going to zoom in and zoom out. It's going to zoom in and zoom out. Now, if you want to, say you want to like move up and down the plane, you're going to click inward on the middle roly part. You're going to click inward on it and just kind of drag it like so. And then the right click side, you're gonna do the right click side to rotate around the plane. And you can do that in any direction like this, or you can just go around like that. But that's with the right click side. Now, you can, honestly, you cannot, I don't think you can use the right click in the middle at the same time. I don't see why you would necessarily just need to. But anyways, that's how that's going to work. So now that we know the mouse functions for this, the next thing that you're going to do, you're going to go to export. Export. Now, I put these in a folder called DDS files, but I don't use DDS files. I use PNG files. And you have the option of both in this program, but I particularly like to use PNG because when I was using DDS files, my stuff would show up black in the game. Could have been something I was doing wrong, and I had to go back and basically redo all of my clothes. So I use PNG, and it shows up perfectly fine in my game. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, as you can see, this is the one I did the last time. I'm going to go ahead and just name this something. As you can see, I have long shirt 1 and long shirt 2. So I've done this multiple times. We're going to go ahead and just name it long shirt 3. Simple as that. And enter. Now we have to go up here, go to file, and go to main menu. Back where we started, I guess. You're gonna go back to cast, press that again, and instead of going where it says clothing top under part type, you're gonna go to clothing body. Now, for this one, I just scrolled down. It wasn't too far down, and I just found this ball gown, this pink. Well, I keep calling it a ball gown. This pink gown here. I clicked it, I typed in next. Now, this is where you'll want to actually name the file what you want it to be named. If you're going to be sharing this, if you're just putting this in your game for you, this is where you're going to want to name it, what you're actually going to, have the file, what you're going to want the name to be. So I always start with johnnieleemj. And then I think the last one I named was like long sleeve shirt. So I'm just going to put long sleeve shirt, long sleeve dress 1. I'm going to do long sleeve dress 2. So long sleeve dress 2. And I'm going to save it in package files. Later, we're going to put it in our game. I'm going to make sure to show you how to do that as well. On here, once again, we're back. Same functions apply with the mouse. And we're going to go ahead and export. And we're going to export this. I'm going to change that because if I'm going to make this a series, I don't want to be confusing anybody. So we're going to make sure to export it, save it as a PNG. We're going to export this as... And here's another dress I did. Let's see. Let's just do dress 1. Simple. Just try to do something simple that we can remember. Now that we have both of those exported, we're going to click out of that. We're going to go ahead and open up paint.net. We're going to do File, Open. And honestly, you can open... I chose to open the shirt first, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead, long shirt 3. We're going to open that. We're going to go ahead and go back to File, Open again. We're going to open Dress 1 that we just saved. Now, we're going to click. I guess we should go back to this one first. For this one here, we're going to go ahead and add a layer. We're going to add a layer for 2 different things. We can either color these 2 things, like change the color on them first, and then put them on top of each other, which is what I think I'm going to do, because I usually put everything together and just do like 7 different layers, but we're not going to do that. That's complex. If you're a beginner, we just want to make this as easy as possible. We're going to add a layer on both because we're going to change the color. And now I'm going to show you how I added a different pattern to, the clothes that's already here. So for this, we're going to go ahead and go File, Open again. This time, let's just say... Let's go to Google first. Let's go ahead and go to Google, and let's say I want to have aquatic background. We're just gonna type in aquatic background. Let's just say that's what we want. And we're scrolling on here, and honestly, none of this looks like something I would just want on a dress. But here's something that doesn't look too bad. This doesn't look too bad at all. We're going to go ahead and we're going to save this image. And I save all of my images that I use for my Sims clothes in a file called prints. That's just what I choose to do. I have SP94, which is from the last video. I'm going to go ahead and save it as SP95. Save. And then let's say with that aquatic background, let's just say we want to have both the shirt that's gonna be like the top part and then the dress both be that color, or we can do 2 different ones. I'll show you how to do both. Let's just go ahead and type in ambient background. Let's just see what we can get to make sense. Let's see. I like this. And just a side note, the clothes that I'm making here aren't necessarily going to be cute. And sometimes I make these patterns kind of ridiculous to prove a point. So you can see, it really stands out. You can really see what I was doing there. So we can go ahead and save this image as well. And I'm going to go ahead and save this as SP96. As you can see, I'm very number oriented. I suggest having a very structured way that you save things when you're doing this. Because once you start, it'll be very easy to get very discombobulated and jumbled up with your files. So now that we have 2 patterns saved, wrong thing, we're going to go ahead and open back up paint.net here. I'm going to go to File, Open. We're going to go to Prints, or wherever you saved your, fabric or patterns at. We're going to click this one, and we're going to click this one. It's going to open 2 separate files. See that? There's that, and there's that. Now you see this one is way bigger. Let's see what size this is. This is, okay, 590 by 300. We're going to go ahead and resize this one too, because I see this is way too big. And yeah, so we're going to go to Image, Resize, and I think it was like 590 by like 300 or something like that. Close enough. There, we have that resized. And so now that we have that done, let's say we want to go with the aquatic background first. We're going to press this. Make sure you have this arrow clicked right here, this arrow. we're going to press on the fabric. We're going to color fabric today. Fabric, and you're going to go copy. You're going to get over here or to whichever one, but I'm doing the shirt first. On this second layer, make sure it's on layer 2. And we just added that by pressing this, and it automatically populated as layer 2. And then we're going to go paste. And see how that is. Okay, now we want to kind of stretch it out. Now, to make this as easy as possible, sometimes I do the front part and the back part, and then I do the sleeves. Yeah, let's do the front part and the back part, and then the sleeves. That it's not that difficult. And I'm going to show you exactly what we need to do. So just kind of match it up and make sure that it's not on the sleeves, because this right here is the sleeves. So we want to have this like this, and to get rid of this this moving dotted line, we're going to deselect. In order to deselect, you're going to go over here and grab this rectangle select and just click the background, and that just stops it. Now you're going to go back over here to your arrow. Well, actually, you're going to go over here to the magic wand. So you're going to go to the magic wand, and this is the important part to get the fabric onto the clothes. You're going to click the background, and then you're going to come over here to the layers and click background again. You're going to go back over here. You're going to click the, the little background here with the kind of checkerboard type of thing going on. So you're going to click that again. And as you can see, you start seeing like an indentation right there. And then you're going to go back over here to layer 2 and press delete on the keyboard. I don't know what just happened there, but have no fear. Go back. All you have to do is press this right here. In history, press this right here. If you don't know how to make the history box appear, go up here. That'll make it disappear. That'll make it appear right there. That little kind of clock looking thing. We're going to press that. And then we'll go back over here, layer 2, and then press delete. So I don't know what just happened, but that's how you fix that just in case. So I'm kind of glad that happened. That'll show you how to fix that. Now, if you notice, the bottom part you didn't see those dotted lines on the bottom part. That's because this is completely closed off. Like it's completely all the way across. There's no space. So it's not going to go all the way around it. So we have to get rid of that part too. And in order to do that, you're just going to do exactly what you just did, except on the bottom. So background, background again, layer 2, delete on the keyboard. See that? Now we have that as our pattern. And then we're going to go and do this side. So all you have to do, paste again, size it to where it'll fit. There we go. Yep, that's about right. Then we're going to do the same thing. Deselect it. Go ahead and grab that magic wand. Checkerboard. Background and layers. Background, checkerboard again. Layer 2. Delete on the keyboard. Do the same thing again on the bottom. Background. Background again. Layer 2. Delete on the keyboard. And now you see how that looks. Now, this part right here, what this is exactly is basically the stomach hole for the shirt. And so if you want to color that too, do the same thing. Just kind of size it where it's kind of remotely the same size. Go ahead and get that magic wand, do the same thing again. Okay, now if you want to just kind of see what this is looking like, we can do that. So merge these together because it won't save properly if you don't, or it's going to merge them down for you anyways. Merge those, press this right here. It's going to merge the two together and just press save. Go back into Sims 4 Studio. Now, I know you see the dress right here, but it'll be fine. Go ahead and go to import. And where you see your shirt, this is already looking, this is the way we want it to look. This is actually perfectly fine. If you see it looking like this is perfectly fine because it's supposed to be on a dress anyways. And once we color the actual dress, you'll see that it'll look fine. So you see we have our water. There's our water on our shirt. Now, Now that we have that done, we see how that looks on the prototype sim. We're going to go back into paint.net. We're going to go over here to the dress. Now the dress is going to be a little bit easier to do because there's plenty of space and you won't have to do the top and the bottom for that. Let's go ahead and grab this one because I just kind of want you guys to see the difference. And then we can all do it as one color too. That's no problem. So we're going to click on this like we did with the first print or fabric. We're going to go copy. Going to go to our dress, make sure we're on layer 2. We're going to go ahead and paste. Now this one, actually we could have sized this one up. But either way, we're going to go ahead and just kind of stretch this out so that it can fit from the top to the bottom of the dress. This is the bottom part of the dress, basically the leg hole. So where your feet go out of. That's what that is. And we can color that, we cannot. We're going to go ahead and color it since we're doing a full tutorial here. So you see this? What we need to do, we need to go ahead and deselect, press this square, press the background, go over here, grab the magic wand again, checkerboard, background and layers, checkerboard again, you see that outline. I'm going to go ahead and go to layer 2, press delete on the keyboard. We want to go ahead and get this part and this part. We can do those together. We don't have to separate those. So we're going to go ahead and paste again, size it to where it'll fit both of those. Go ahead and grab the rectangle, deselect. I'm going to do the magic wand again. Background, background and layers, background again. You see it floating. I just call it floating. And then go to layer 2 on that side right there. Press delete on the keyboard. And this is what we're looking at. We're going to go ahead and merge these two together. And we're going to go ahead and save. Now, if we want to go ahead and go back over here, import, you see our dress right here. We want to see what it looks like. This is how we're looking. Now, we could be more precise with where we wanted the pattern to go, but this is what we have right now. And this is honestly just to show you how to put some sort of other pattern onto the clothes. So, now, in order to get the shirt and the dress together, we're going to go ahead and get this arrow right here. We're going to click, we're going to copy. We're going to go over here. We're going to add another second layer since we merged the print onto the clothes. And we're going to go ahead and paste. And it should already paste exactly where it's supposed to be. You don't have to do really anything. Or to get rid of both of these, because both of those don't have to be there, we can go back to where we merged down before, go back over here, deselect, get your eraser, and really you could just erase that because you really don't need it. I erased it before too. I believe I erased this too. I don't think you need that either. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and grab this arrow again, copy, make sure we're on second layer, and go ahead and paste. And that's what we're looking at. Now, we're going to merge these two together. And we can unmerge them again if we want to change the color again. But we're just trying to, see what this looks like. And this is really, we can change the color. I'll show you guys how to change the color in a moment. Put those together. I just press this, merge them together. Save. Actually, yeah, you can save it. It really doesn't matter. You can save it under long shirt or you can save it under dress. Honestly, it really shouldn't matter. So you're going to save that. You're going to go back to Sims 4 Studio. You're going to import. And now whichever one you saved it on, double click it. This is what we're looking at. Now you see how that looks. This is how you franken-mesh two completely different clothes together without having to go through Blender or do anything like that. Now, of course, this kind of limits you to certain things that you can do because you can only go to, you can only choose certain amount of clothes or, have certain clothes together to create a certain thing. You can't really be too creative with it as if, you went through Marvelous Designer and then Blender and, went that way. So this is kind of, if you're just really beginning, you're trying to kind of play with it a little bit, see what you can do, see what you can make. And this is the dress we have. Like I said, I don't make clothes to be cute necessarily. I just kind of want you to see what we're doing here. So this is what we've made. Now, if we want to go ahead and change these colors over here. There's two different ways we can do that. It's pink now because that dress was pink earlier. You can either click in here, and if you just click with the left click on your mouse, you'll get a color wheel. And we can kind of try to match up the colors to kind of what it looks like. You can click in this one, kind of get that tealish green right there, and this is what you'll have. Or, I'm going to exit out of both of these. It'll just default to blue. You can right click on there and you'll get a dropper tool. You can go with the dropper and go right over to the pattern and get the exact color. Once again, the blank square, dropper tool, go over here, and you can really just, you can do the lighter part, you can do the darker part. As you see, it's kind of changing as I scroll up and down. Kind of want to go in the middle a little bit, so, you know, maybe right up in here. And it gives the exact color without you having to try to match it on the color wheel. And that's if you right click with this the right click on your mouse, and that will bring up the dropper tool. Now, this is what I do in terms of the catalog thumbnail. I go import, and what I did, I saved it under thumbnails. I just literally Googled the word test, and I just found the word test that I liked, saved it, and then I put test there first. So when I open my game to see what it looks like in game, it's easy to find. This bright gold test is very easy to find instead of just like letting it default you a thumbnail, you know, which is just going to be the sim wearing the dress like you would see any other time. Or a sim's body with the dress on, whatever. I prefer to do that, and then I make my own thumbnails, and I can even do a video on how I do that. But this is what we're looking at. Now that we've done this, we're going to go ahead and save. And now we go ahead and move over here to where it says categories. So far all we needed to do was on texture. You go to categories, and here is where you can kind of change like how this shows up in your game. Like if it's going to be allowed for random, like allowed for your random townies. If you want to restrict it for the opposite gender or frame or whatever, if you want to put it under long dress, short dress, suits, aprons, whatever, you can do all that. If you want to make it a certain archetype, you can do that. I can do all of them, and then I can press apply to all swatches, so automatically when I add a new swatch or a new color, it'll automatically be like that. I don't necessarily have to just, you know, change this, but just kind of show you guys. We're gonna do blue and green, because sometimes I just do everything just so it's the easiest to find for whoever's trying to download it. And then yeah, let's do that, blue and green, and we can do pink because it was pink anyways when it first started. And we're gonna save that again. We're gonna go back to texture. So now that we have this dress made, I'm gonna show you how to change the color. Now, what I do when I want to change the color, deselect that. We're gonna go ahead and go back to how it was right before we pasted that, and that's easy. If you go to your history bar, you're just gonna keep going up until you don't see that dress in that second layer anymore. Now, it's blue because it's water, but if you want to change the color of that water, say you want orange water, you can go to hue and saturation. And I'm pretty sure there's a better way to color it here, but this is how I prefer to do it. And we're gonna put this over here this time. And we wanted orange water. We're gonna keep going until we get to orange. We're gonna kind of brighten the screen here. We want it more saturated. We'll want it more orange. Maybe we want it like that. And that kind of looks like a sunset now. We can make it darker. We can make it lighter. Now it looks pink. If you have made it a certain color that you don't like and you wanted to get back to 0, but you can't quite get it there. It's at -2. It's at 3. You can't quite get it to 0. If you're here or like all the way out here and you want to bring it back, you press this back arrow. That'll reset everything to 0. And that goes for any of them. So I'm gonna press OK. So you want to make this orange too. Deselect here. I'm going to go to adjustments again, hue and saturation. And what I do like about paint.net is that it'll auto save your settings for whatever you change the last thing to, it'll auto save it. So I'm going to put this over here, and as you can see, it's kind of at the same exact thing we had it to before. We're going to tweak that. We're going to bring it back to 0. And we're going to go until we see orange. Let's see. That's kind of orange. We're going to saturate that a little more, bring out that orange, and you see what we have. We're going to press OK. I don't want to make it lighter or darker. Now we're going to go ahead and do kind of what we did before. Click on this, copy, go over here, add a layer, and we're going to paste. It's already pasted where it needs to be. Like I said, this is not the cutest dress in the world, but you see what we did. Go ahead and merge these together and go ahead and save it again. Going to go back into the Sims 4 Studio to add another color. We're going to press Add Swatch. We're going to go Import. We're going to go back to wherever we had the dress. Here it is. Orange dress now. If we want to change the color, I'm going to right click on this square like I did before. Go right here. Left click. Want to change this second square. I'm going to go right here. Go about, let's see, right there, left click. Now we have this here. Now, if we want to make this dress more uniform and have the same pattern on both sides, that is also very easy. We're going to go, say kind of like we did before, back to how it looked before we did anything. And we can do that for both this time. Let's see. Deselect. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead, and the way this looks right here, if we want both of these to have the water kind of feel or the water pattern or fabric on it, we're going to click this here, kind of like, we're going to do the exact same thing we did before. Copy, go over here, make sure you add a layer. We're going to go ahead and paste. We're going to size it so that it fits properly. And then we're going to deselect that again. We're going to go ahead and grab the magic wand. Again, we're going to do background, background, background. Layer 2, press delete on the keyboard. We have water. We're going to go ahead and merge these two layers down. We're going to go ahead and we're going to save that. Now we're going to grab this arrow again, this arrow right here. Click on it, copy. We're going to go back over here with our long shirt. Press layer 2. Well, press layer 2. Add a layer. Layer 2 is going to pop up. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to paste. And now you see, you really can't see the difference between right here and right here. I mean, you can, and also because you kind of know it's there. But now we have the same pattern on both. Going to go ahead and merge that down. You can deselect for this part. You don't have to. And then you're going to save. Now we're going to open this up, add another swatch, import. Now you have a uniform dress. Well, the color is kind of uniform. I like that. I don't know why this is reminding me of a Whitney Houston dress or something. But anyways, this is how we're looking, which is very similar to the way that I did this one. I just did the same color. And now if you say, hey, how did you add that belt? That's cool. I can show you guys how I added the belt too. I might as well, since I'm doing a full tutorial. This video is going to be kind of long, but I do want to help someone if they are trying to kind of do this themselves. So just like Google is our best friend, honestly. We're going to go over here and we're going to Google, what I Googled to get this, I think, was PNG wedding sash, I think. PNG wedding sash or something like that. And I found a sash that I liked. Let me just scroll until I find another sash that I like. Let's just go with this one. Okay, so I found the one I like. And as you can see, here goes some other ones that I've saved. But I think this is going to be SP97. Why do I save them under prints? I'm not quite sure. Now, we want to go ahead and get rid of this white background. There are so many different ways we can do that. But I have two web pages saved that will, like, you can go in, put the picture in, it'll automatically remove the background. We're going to do that because this is not a tutorial of how to do that in paint.net or in GIMP, because you can do it in both of those too. So we're going to go ahead and upload that same image. Perfect. Okay, so we've downloaded a sash that we like. Now, if we want to go ahead and add that sash to our dress, let's say we want to just add it to this one. Because I feel like if we add it to this one or this one, we will be looking crazy. So we're going to go back over here and we're going to change this color. And this can honestly just be one color since it's the same now. Now we're going to go back into our paint.net and we're going to go over here with the full dress the way that it is right here. We're going to go ahead and open up our new sash. What? No, that's not the right one. We're going to go ahead and open up our new sash. It's going to be under downloads. Okay, so we have it here. Kind of the same thing we've been doing. Go ahead, click on it with this arrow, click, copy, go to the dress, add a new layer, and we're going to go ahead and paste. It's kind of big here. And so I usually only want my sashes on like the front part of the dress. So let's see, I'm going to kind of bring it up a little bit. And to zoom in paint.net, I should have showed you this sooner. We're going to press Control, and we're going to just kind of scroll in with the middle part of our mouse. That way we have a clearer view of the part of the dress we want to put this on. Or you can go, or we can go down here and do that. So this is how far zoomed in I want to be. Okay, and we're going to fix this. Let's see. I like that. We're going to merge it down now, and we're going to save it. And now we're going to go ahead and see what we're looking like. So I'm not going to add a swatch because I want one without the belt and I want one with the belt. I'm going to go ahead and do an import. Import that. Let's see what our sash is looking like. Okay. Could be better, but it's really not bad. It's really not bad. Okay. We're done. Now, the only thing left to do is going to be to show you how this looks on a sim. So I'm going to save that. Well, not quite. We're going to save that. Make sure it's saved. I just like to double save. We're going to go into our files and package files where I put the dress. Let's see. Long sleeve dress 2. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to press cut. I'm going to go to documents. I'm going to go to, let's see, electronic art, Sims 4, mods, packages, and then I go to johnnieleemj. That's where I like to save all of my personal stuff that I created. There. Okay, now I'm going to show you what this looks like in The Sims. Okay, so now we have our game open, and I'm going to go ahead and choose the household that I want to try on my dress. I'm going to go to models. This is the household that I use to model all of my custom content. So, once again, here you are, Brina. Let's see. Yeah, I usually model my dresses on you. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to her formal. Let's add one. We're going to go to dresses. We're going to unclick formal. And we're just going to make sure we click on custom content. Now, usually they're at the bottom, but it might be at the top. So we're just going to scroll until we see the word test. Scroll until we see, oh, there we go. And here's our dress. Let me go ahead and take this hair off. Let's give her, let's take off this necklace. Okay. Now, I don't know why this is showing up. I think it's because we didn't make it a PNG instead of like a JPEG image. But really this is what we're looking at. And that's really easy to do, to convert a JPEG to a PNG, and then this won't show up. So that's my fault. But you see the point. This is what our dress looks like. And then if we want to go ahead and go to this one. And I kind of do like that, actually. I like that. This is what this one looks like. Here's this one. And here's the one with our sash, which we could make bigger or smaller. But I like the way that looks. That looks cute on her. And as you can see, this one, I don't have that issue because I made sure that it was a PNG. But I'll be doing more of these anyways, so I can kind of go over how to convert a JPEG to a PNG using paint.net. Very, 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 very easy. But this is what we're looking like. Okay. So this is what these look like. Looks pretty good to me. I like it. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and exit out of that. That's fine. Okay, so I showed you guys how to franken-mesh or splice up two different base game clothes to make one thing. We made a long sleeve dress. Hopefully this was helpful for you. I know this was a long one, but it is a little bit longer because we're using two different things, and I showed how to do a few different things, like how to just change the color, how to add a pattern, how to add a sash, all of that. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. Please give it a thumbs up, like the video. I'll definitely be doing more of these types of tutorials in the future, so definitely get used to that. I'm going to be doing a lot of things on this channel, but anyways, thanks so much for watching. And as I always say, you know, like the video, you can dislike it. I mean, that might hurt my feelings, but I don't really mind.